Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. It's clayrammage. Guess what? We have a what's sold video today. I'm just going to run through some of the more interesting items since I've been selling so much. I thought I would do it more on a interest basis rather than just everything that's sold. So the first item up here is this Russian lacquer box. This is a hand-painted box. I found this at the local Goodwill store, and I actually kept it for myself for a long time. This is scene of what I believe is John the Baptist pointing to Jesus, pointing the crowds to him, and then on the outside edge, painted all around the sides, are the different leaders of the Russian Orthodox Church, which is really cool because I could trace them back based on the dates and the names. So it was really kind of cool. I did some research on that. And overall, it was in great shape. It did have one spot on the back. Let's see if I won't get into it. That had a chip on the lacquer. But otherwise, it was in great shape. It did have some scratches to the top. And I didn't know what to sell it at, so I initially listed it at $89. And I ended up accepting an offer of $77 plus shipping, which I thought was great. I paid $7 for it. So I picked up this Hamilton watch. I'm thinking I got it at the bins, but I don't remember for sure. And I had it for a long time sitting in my watch drawer. And so a couple weeks ago, I was going through there thinking, I just need to get stuff listed. So I pulled them out, started going through them, looking for ones with batteries and what kind of batteries I would need for them. That's kind of what started the whole thing. But I saw this, let me throw it out there. So I threw it out up on eBay. I'm not sure if it works or not. It didn't wind. It's missing a couple hands. But it still sold for $50 plus shipping, and it sold fairly quickly. So I was excited about that. And then this is, I talk about in my videos when I pick up stuff, I pick up these Italian frames, ornate frames. Sometimes they have pictures, sometimes they don't. And then I put them in lots. Like in this case, I put 4 of these together. None of them had glass. Some of them didn't even have the back. So I listed these at $19 for the 4 of them. And they sold right away for $19 plus shipping. So that's what I like to do on those. And some of you know my whole thing about embroidery hoops, and do not pass them up because they can be worth good money. And here's the one that's the queen of embroidery hoops. It's the Queen brand. Sometimes, like this one, is stamped on the wood, and sometimes it's here on the handle. I've seen both instances. In this case, the little knob says patented, made in USA. So obviously they changed it at some point in time. This one did not have any felt, although it was designed to have felt. The felt was gone. And so I disclosed that in the listing, and the knob does not turn. So that is stuck. So I also disclosed that and put it at an auction starting at, I think, $20 or $25, and ended up selling for $53 in that condition. Now, if it was perfect and working, it would be closer to the $250 mark. But still, even in poor condition, they can sell well. So that was exciting. So keep your eye out for embroidery hoops. Queen, I always say it's the royal trifecta. Queen, Princess, and Duchess are the 3 brands that have great value. I picked this up actually at a garage sale directly across the street from my shop one day. When I went to the shop, I saw a garage sale on the front porch of this house. So I went over and found this pendant from the Chicago Cubs in the 1980s. So picked it up for $2, sold it for $12 very quickly. So can't beat that. Also picked up this M.A. Hadley bowl. This was from a garage sale. I think I paid $1 for it. And I wasn't sure, being as it was dated, if it, how well it was going to do. But it, again, sold very quickly within a couple days of listing it for $20 plus shipping. So happy about that. This was a record my mom had. She doesn't know where she got it. So I was selling it on her behalf. It's a Filipino artist, and this is from the 70s, late 60s, early 70s, I believe. I can't remember if it's 69 or 70, somewhere in there. No, I put 1960s, so it must have been late 60s. And apparently it's a very, desirable record. So sold this one, again, very quickly, within a couple days, for $30 plus shipping. So that was good. A couple weeks ago, I did a haul video showing I picked up a whole lot of Longaberger pottery stuff. And, cups, bowls, plates, that kind of stuff. But also I picked up this Longaberger recipe card set. It's called their Harvest. I counted, there were 100 cards, so that there were none used. It wasn't an open package in the sense that the plastic was open at the top, but it contained all the tabs and all the cards. And so I listed that, and it sold right away for $20 plus shipping. So another great item here. This one's a great story. I picked up this, it's a vintage football, and I couldn't tell you exactly when it's from. Made in the USA, National Football League, American Football Conference, National Football Conference. And it's quite worn, and if you see the ends, you can see the leather's quite worn on it. But the interesting thing was I sold it to CBS Studios. So I shipped it to their studio in New York, which that was kind of fun. So I don't know if they're going to use it in one of their sports programs or, put it on display or what. But no, I thought that was a fun little place for the little football to end up. So this frame I picked up at the bins. It's a very ornate burled walnut, I believe, but also with this inlay. It's made in Italy. It's a beautiful frame in wonderful condition. And so I thought, well, let me just throw it out there and list it real quick for $25, and it sold. Took a couple weeks to sell, but it sold, and for $25 plus shipping. So happy about that. Now this one, there were two of these Cheerio watches. I picked these up last year at a garage sale in the summer where I bought a whole lot of watches, like over 100 watches that were of these premium style items where you send in the box tops or whatever. So I've had these listed for a year, and there were two of them, and the person bought both of them. And, I had it so they could buy one or both. So they chose to buy both of these, and they gave me some great feedback in the end. So yeah, that was kind of fun, but that took a long time. But I've made my money back on that lot a long time ago. So, all right, here's the fun Charlie Brown mask that I picked up at the bins. And again, it was a very large mask from the 80s. And I couldn't find any others listed anywhere, so I didn't know the price. I threw it out there, I think at right around $60. I think I started at $59.99. It's usually what I do. I like the 99s. At an auction, let it go for a couple weeks, didn't get any interest, so then I decided to change it to a buy it now, and I think at the buy it now I put it in at $69.95, and then I got an offer for $58, which I accepted. So thrilled about that, because again, it was a lightweight item, so I didn't pay a lot. I also picked up these strawberry shortcake characters from the bins. There are 11 of them. Apparently there were 12 in this series, but I found 11 of them from the early 80s and listed those, and they sold within a couple of days of being listed for $20 plus shipping. So I was excited about that. Picked up this 3 Wizard of Oz figurines at the Delano garage sales that we went to a couple weeks ago, and decided to list them right away, which was a good thing. I paid $1 each for them. So the Scarecrow sold same day for $10 plus shipping, and so he was off to a new home right away. Then I found this Lalique bottle, and this is a learning opportunity for everybody. So I did some investigation, found out the bottle. This is their lentil version. I don't know how to say it in French, but it's the lentil series. It's from like 1912, so it's an early bottle. It's a little pancake style, very thin. And it's model 485. It's clearly marked on the bottom, clearly signed. It's definitely an authentic piece. But I thought I put it out here as an auction, but somehow I ended up as a buy it now. So as within a few minutes of listing it, somebody inquired and wanted some additional pictures because I said it's got flea bites around the stopper and stuff. And so they said, could I, send them some possible details? So I did. And then, a few minutes after sending that, then it said sold, and I was like, what? And I looked, and sure enough, I did it as a buy it now at $60 rather than an auction. Because technically, I think this easily could have gone for twice that price. But you live and learn. And again, I paid $0.25 for it, so I made incredible money. That's the kind of rate of return that, is almost unbelievable. So I'm happy about it, but I'm just like, you live and learn. It's good stuff. Somebody got a great deal. I started getting into the clothing a little more, folks. And yep, I sold this wild shirt that I had several commenters when I showed this on my haul video that were like, there's no way I would possibly buy that shirt. Somebody bought it for $15 plus shipping. So that's exciting. So yeah, my venture into clothing is starting to pay off. All right, and here's the other Wizard of Oz figure, one of the other ones, the Tin Man. Again, he sold a couple days later after the Scarecrow for $10. I listed them all at $10 because they go anywhere from 10 to 15, and I thought if I want to move them quickly, then that's what it is. I paid $1 for them, sell them for 10. That's 10 times my money. That's approximately what I try to do on eBay. So, and if they sell fast, that's even better. So we're good with that. We also picked this up at the Delano garage sales. This was this beautiful pink Fenton rose pastel milk glass plate. It has that fancy lace edge. Some call it a reverse C. If you look at it from the back, it looks like a C. From the front, it looks like a backwards C. But it was a beautiful plate. It did have some chips on the back, on the bottom, but otherwise the top of it and the surface was in beautiful condition. And so I threw it out there at $40. No, I put it out there at $44.99. And I got an offer of $40, so I accepted that. I paid $2 for it. So, another great sale. Excited about that. This item I picked up like a year ago, so this has been listed a long time. It's a music box by Blue Sky Pottery, and it was in perfect condition. Amazingly enough, all these little flowers were still there, and it's a little wedding car with a couple in it. So had that for a long time. Finally sold for $25 plus shipping. So yeah. Then these salt and pepper shakers I picked up also at the Delano garage sales. We picked up a lot of great stuff at those sales, and I picked up a couple sets of them. These had real feathers, and so here's what's interesting, though. This little guy, you can see here, he had a hole in his head. He had, yep, there's the hole in his head. He had a huge chip on his foot. That was a little blurry picture. And his nose was chipped. So he had a lot of issues. So and these were Christ, made in Japan. So, and he was missing a rhinestone on his one foot too. He should have had a rhinestone here, but because his foot was missing, the rhinestone was missing. Anyway, so I thought I'll just throw them out there at $11 and see what happens. So they sold right away for $11 plus shipping. So either somebody wanted, one of them or something, but I was thrilled. So then another item I picked up at the Delano garage sales. This Nintendo 64 game case, and it was, again, not in the best of shape. And part of this video is to show that even though things are not perfect or in the best shape, they still can sell. So don't overlook opportunities on items that may not be perfect. But part of it is the demand. I know that those bird salt and pepper shakers, when they look like that anamorphic style, are pretty popular. So I thought, I'll take a risk on them. Same with this Nintendo thing. It was missing a tab to hold the drawer in right there. The plastic coating right here was starting to come loose. Again, I disclosed all that in the ad. And I paid 50 cents for this item, and it sold same day that I listed it for 42. I accepted the best offer. I think I had it listed at $49.99. Accepted best offer at 42 plus shipping. So it's a good deal. I picked up this little makeup bag from the bins. It's some places call it a clutch, some call it a makeup bag. It's this Italian Piero Guidi Magic Circus design. And I know, I had viewers contact me about this purse too. But again, it sold really quickly. And for $20 plus shipping. I listed it at $20 because the inside was kind of dirty. It had some marks and stuff in it. So I didn't want to, try to get max dollar out of it. I thought, let me just see if I can move it fairly quickly, which I did. So that was exciting. And then there was this record cleaner, this disc washer, which I remember when I was a kid, these out there to keep your records clean. And I figured I picked it up because I know, records are pretty popular, so I'm sure people are looking to be able to clean them. And sure enough, this sold for $20 plus shipping. And what was really fun was the guy sent me a message asking to send some closer pictures, particularly of the fabric on the bottom, just to make sure that it was in good shape. Well, when I did that, I found out that it had the bottle of fluid and it's stored inside of this. On the other side is the opening, and I didn't even realize that when I first listed it. So, and it still had fluid in it. So the guy got a bonus with that. Anyway, fun story, but I was glad he was super excited to get it. I was happy to sell it. All right, this is that Forget-Me-Not sterling silver bracelet that we found at the bins a couple weeks ago. It had one line on it, Magdalene, or one name on it, Magdalene. The rest of the bracelet was plain. It's clearly marked sterling Forget-Me-Not. These were quite popular during World War II and, or that era. And so I listed it at $40, and it sold fairly quickly. Okay, this was one of those that I'm not sure if I should do it, but I'm taking a risk because I've never seen it before, and I think somebody would like it. And what they are is let's zoom in. They're wax candles, beeswax candles from this monastery, which is in, of course, California, and they smelled wonderful. They definitely smelled of honey and beeswax. There are 24 of them, long, thin, tapered candles. So yeah, they took a little while to sell. I had these listed for several months before they sold, but I was thrilled. $20 plus shipping. So picked up this radio at a garage sale this summer. It's missing the knob, one knob, has the others. It did work. I was able to tune in different stations, and the cabinet itself was like in amazing condition. I cleaned the little ribs here, but the rest of it was, just beautifully clean. Very, very few scratches on it whatsoever. So sold for $21 plus shipping. So that was a good deal as well. I paid $2 for it. Again, 10 times my money. Picked up this hat at the bins recently, White House hat. I thought it would probably sit for a while, but sold right away for $6.99 plus shipping. So I was happy about that. And of course, it's going to Washington, D.C., just outside of Washington, D.C. So that was fun. Okay, here's the other anamorphic bird salt and pepper shakers that I bought. These are actually like almost perfect condition. She had just a tiny, and I couldn't tell, I don't think it was actually a paint loss on her nose, but the end of her beak was white. Kind of like the paint was chipped off, but it looks still glossy, like the glaze was over the top of it. So I think it may just not have gotten much paint on it. But other than that, they were just beautiful. And so these sold for $24.99 plus shipping. But I bought them at the same sale as those other two bird salt and pepper shakers. So some good money coming through there. All right, this one is this helmet that I just picked up, actually yesterday when I'm filming this, that I listed, and it sold right away. I sold it for $25. This is an actual World War II civil defense helmet. And you know, in the video I said it was a toy, a child's plaything, which is wrong. It was an actual helmet. And I was kind of misled because somebody told me it was a toy, and I questioned it at the time, but I wasn't sure. So anyway, I did find out it's real. Went to a collector, which is awesome. And the last thing is this Catwoman hat mask, sorry, that I picked up at the bins. So this sold for $30 plus shipping. And I think when I first showed it in the video, I said a Batman type hat, but then I realized it was Catwoman after the video. So sometimes I learn afterwards, but the thing of it was I, you know, paid probably less than $1 for it. So it's a good deal. But that's what's some of the highlights of our sales recently. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching.